this is Mama Joy, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a stew, and I'm using Crisco to brown my meat because oil and stuff like that, I love olive oil, but it doesn't brown the meat like it should, like Crisco does. So I'm going to brown my meat in this skillet, and then I'm going to put it in the crock pot because I can't use the oven. This is the second week, and no one has come to look at my stove or fix it or do anything. So just have to get along without, and this is what I'm gonna do. I have a chuck roast here, and it's still, partially frozen, but I'm gonna go ahead and brown it in the skillet and put it in the crock pot, and when it thaws out a little bit more, I'll go ahead and cut it up in smaller pieces. But as of right now, that was double wrapped. I'm just going to, no it wasn't, it just had another piece over it. Okay. I'm going to put salt and pepper on it. And not going to be able to get this thing to work like I need it to. So, hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm about out of nature's seasoning, but I'm going to put a little bit on it. Maybe I will. Okay, and I'm also going to put some real salt. And some real pepper. And I'm also going to put some everything bagel seasoning because I love this. I love this stuff. So, I'm going to try to get it in the skillet without burning myself. Really good. I'm going to add vegetables after this cooks for a while in the crock pot. I'll be adding some vegetables to it, and then I'll come back and show you what I'm doing. And then I'll cut this meat up in smaller pieces so it'll get done faster. So I'm going to get off, getting the crock pot out, so I can put this meat in there and get it started. And then I'll come back and show you what vegetables I put in it. It's really hot again. We have heat warnings, and it's really hot out, so I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, I have browned this roast on both sides and on all the way around every edge. So I'm going to turn him off and try to get him over into this crock pot. Just, he's starting to thaw out a little bit or so. Whoa! I didn't know how that was going to work. I'm going to save that oil, and I'm going to make some gravy to pour over the in this to help thicken it up when it gets the vegetables in there and gets it cooked. So I went ahead and put a liner in the crock pot because it's just easier to clean up, and it's easier if I want to. I'll be sending some of this home with Chrissa and Ronnie. I can't make a small amount of soup or stew or spaghetti or goulash or whatever. I'm so used to making big amounts of them. So I'm going to share with them. And I'm going to get this crock pot plugged in and turned on. And then I'm going to let it cook for, let's see, maybe 3 hours. And then I will start adding the vegetables. I'll put the carrots in first, so I have those clean and ready to go in. And you know what's strange? My oven is not working. When you turn it on, you can't hardly get it to go off. Eric thought he was going to have to go turn the breaker on it to get it to go off. But the funny part is the clock is still working. The timer won't work. The oven won't shut off when you push the cancel button. The timer won't shut off if you push the cancel button. But for some strange reason, the clock's working. Yep, it's working. It says 11:21. So anyway, I'm going to get this crock pot plugged in. Like I said, I've put the liner in it, so I won't have too bad of a cleanup with it. And I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and I'm cutting the ends off of the carrots, and I'm going to peel them and put them in water for a little bit, and then I'm going to cut them up and go ahead and put them in the crock pot, because they are the ones that take the longest to cook. So what I'm doing is cutting off the big end of the carrot and the little end, and I'm getting me a bowl full of them, and then I'm going to put some water in here, and I'm going to peel them with my vegetable peeler. And, well, probably going to have to end up getting me a different camera stand, phone stand, or whatever. This one never did do as good as I wanted it to. Anyway, I just get that peeled off, and then I'll have water in here, and then I will cut them up and put them in with the meat. And I haven't made my gravy yet, but I'm going to make it, and then I'm going to put a package of Lipton onion soup in with that gravy. And then when I get most of my vegetables in there, I will pour that gravy over them. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. And I'm gonna try to julienne these carrots the best I can. Which means I'm just gonna slice them on an angle so they'll be a little thinner than a round slice. So that's what I'm doing. Whoops. I gotta empty the water out of this bowl. Then when I get these all cut, I will put them in the crock pot. And let them cook for a while. And then I'll get my potatoes ready, because they're the next thing that takes the longest to cook, because I'm using mostly canned vegetables. It's just cutting those at an angle. So I'm going to get off, finish doing the carrots, and get those into the crock pot. And I just got a notification from the Weather Channel that says it's getting ready to rain, but it hasn't yet. I don't know what it's waiting on, but if it does, it'll probably get steamy and very humid, because it is terrible out. We've had this weather warning again for the heat. And anyway, I will be back in a little while. Okay, I wanted to hop back on here because I wanted to show you the meat. I've got the meat all cut off of the bone. I'm still trimming up the pieces, and I've got this bone out of it, and I'm going to use it when I cook the stew meat for the mush, and it'll flavor the broth up really good. So what I'm doing now is just cutting this meat up in smaller cubes. You can see that it's still rare in the middle, and needs to be cooked much longer. So hopefully I can get this done by 5 o'clock or 6. I would like to have it done by 5. But I don't know if that's going to be possible or not. But I hope so. I hope so. My hands are so slippery. Now, I'm getting this meat all in the pan, and then I'll stir it and let you look down in the crock pot. And I'll probably sprinkle some more bagel seasoning on it. That stuff is so good. Now the other side of the roast had more meat on it and better meat on it than this side did. And I just want to get that off of there. But I'm going to put that bone, I'm going to wrap it up and put it in the fridge, and then I may cook that stew meat tomorrow. I've got some of it already in the freezer, and I've already cut it up. So all I have to do is get it in the pan to cook it, and it'll be ready to go. Okay, I'm going to show you the crock pot before I stir it up a little bit. I showed you the crock pot. Oh, mercy. Merciful, merciful. Okay. I gotta find my spoon again. Oh. Okay. That's a lot of meat. And this is gonna be good. So good. I'll set that bone over there. Okay. I'm gonna put the lid on, and then I'm gonna let this cook probably another hour and a half, and then I'll add the rest of the vegetables. Okie dokie. Got a few dishes in the dishwasher that I've got to get emptied out and put up, and then I'll load it back up and get these dishes in the dishwasher. Okay, there's the meat. It needs to go to the trash. Okay, that's looking better. Wrap that bone up and get him in the fridge, and then I'll be back and get the rest of the vegetables in there. See you in a little bit. All right, I'm back, and my knife is duller than a fro. Okay, I've turned the skillet on, and I'm heating up the oil that was left from browning the meat. You can dice this, or you can leave them in strips, or whatever you want to do. I'm going to put them in here in the oil, like that. Got a piece of carrot in there. I have no recipe for this. I am making this up as I go. Why don't you all make up a recipe and send to me that you just made up on your own because that's what you wanted to put in something and you wanted to see how it tasted. Okay, when I get these transparent, I am going to put some flour in there, and then I'm going to be using some beef broth and the Lipton onion soup. And I thought I got me out a spoon. And if I did, I sure found it. There was some of the bagels, everything bagel seasoning in the pan left, and it's smelling really good. Turn that down a little bit. Now, I have my potatoes peeled. So I'm going to be slicing them up. I'll have to add some pepper to them, or salt to these. Let's see. Won't have any salt on them extra. Okay. Let's see if I can. That's what it's looking like. Okay. Stir the onions. I'm going to start adding the flour. I have 1/4 of a cup of flour here, but I don't know if I'm going to need it all or if I'm going to need more. I'm going to put it all in there. Maybe just a tiny bit more. Maybe another tablespoon. Now, I am also going to add some sugar to this crock pot because there is going to be tomatoes in it. Ooh, that got extremely hot. So I will be adding sugar to the crock pot. And hopefully I don't forget what I'm doing. All right, now I'm going to add the Lipton onion soup to this to give it some more flavor. I'm going to be adding this beef broth, which is fat-free. I don't know if I got this on purpose or if it was an accident. Also, add some Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire, whatever you want to call it. What's the matter with this lid? Okay, I'm just gonna add a couple of good squirts in there. And then maybe I'm going to put some garlic in there. At least a tablespoon. You want more than that, you put in there whatever you want. Like I said, I do not have a recipe for what I'm making. I'm just making. And it's getting thick. I'm going to add some more beef broth because I want this to have a lot of gravy on the vegetables and the meat. And I'm going to taste this to make sure it's got enough salt and pepper in it. A little more pepper. I don't think it needs any more salt. Making a mess. And that's my middle name. That's much better. But I think I went a little crazy on the Worcestershire. I didn't need to have to put that much in there, I guess. But it's okay. I'll thin it down with the vegetables and things, and it'll not be as spicy. Okay. Now the other thing that I'm going to be adding to help get it thicker is some barley. And this is quick barley, and I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup. Come on. You don't have to cause me so much grief. Maybe I'll just go with a 1/2 cup to start with. See what this looks like. And this was the quick barley. If you want to use the other, you can cook it on top of the stove and put it in after you've cooked it. Yes, that's much better. I'm going to add a little bit more of the beef broth. Okay. Now, I'm going to try to figure out if I can get this in the crock pot. See if I can get it in there. I did to the carrots. When I put the carrots in there, I added some lemon pepper and sprinkled and coated them real good with lemon pepper. Over here. Okie dokie. Probably can hold it up with one hand and get the rest of it in there. I hope. Looking yummy, that's for sure. Whoops, got more potatoes to add. I'm going to run more hot water over my skillet and get it so I can get it cleaned up really good. And I'm going to go ahead and put this lid back on here until I get the potatoes cut. They need to be cooking, not just sitting there. So. Just take my brush and clean the skillet with my brush. Get everything out of it and let the hot water run over it. I do not put soap in my skillet. Okay. Drink of water here. Did I tell you what I was doing? Filling these little bottles up about 1/2 to 3/4 of the way full. I'm putting them in the freezer. And then I let that freeze. And then when I want to drink, I get that bottle out and fill it the rest of the way up with water. And that'll stay frozen for a good long while. You have a nice cold drink whenever you want it. Okay. I was gonna take that meat out. I still can. And cut it up. I don't know if it's completely. Let me find. Ouch! Laid my arm down on that. Oh, yeah, I can do that. I'm gonna get me out a bigger cutting board to put here. And to put that on, and then I'll get these potatoes in there. Back in there. I've got the lid off of it again. I didn't want to do that. Okay. Okay. I'll go ahead and empty all the rest of that beef broth in there because I don't want to waste any of that. So I'm going to use the whole box of it. Well, I've lost my knife. Oh, for pity's sake. Well, I'm gonna get off and hunt my knife, and then I'm gonna get that meat cut up and put back in there, and then I will put the lid back on it and open up some of these other vegetables so they can go in when I... Here's my knife. My counters aren't really big enough, are they? No, not really. And you know, I did 7 potatoes, I think. I always put more potatoes in it than the law allows because I love potatoes. They are my favorite vegetable. So the other vegetables that I have that I'm going to put in there are the diced tomatoes, corn, peas, green beans, and pinto beans. And that's going to be delicious. Delicious. All right, what I'm going to do is finish up cutting these potatoes, and then I'm going to get out a bigger cutting board and get the meat cut up so it will cook up faster, and then I will bring you back. Well, guess what? The maintenance man came and looked at my stove, and he said, you'll have to order a part. It could be in 1 day, it could be in a month. So I said, well, I don't think I should have to be here and pay rent as much as I do and not have an oven or a stove. But I know it's not his fault, and I know that parts are hard to come by right now for some reason. But I just went a month before he got the top of my stove fixed. So, I don't know. What do? You just spin around your Frisbee and spill your corn. Okay, I'm going to tell you a secret. Most stews don't have corn in them, or some of the other vegetables, but they do have green beans in them, and they do have diced tomatoes. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them in there. I'm going to put it in there because I love corn. And I just chopped or cut off the corn in my Frisbee because it's flat and wider, and it catches the corn. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is put the tomatoes in. Now, cowboy stew has a lot of other things in there too that I don't have, but I think I am still going to put some pinto beans in it. Because I love beans. And this is going to be so good. This is going to be so good. And the tomatoes, I didn't drain the beans, and I will not drain the tomatoes. And I have corn. Now, the only other thing, and some stews have green beans in them. And I've got green beans sitting here. Okay, here goes the tomatoes. And I did put sugar in here. So, if I have to wait around another month for my oven, I'm not going to be very happy. I won't be very happy. And I don't know what I'm going to be able to do about it. So I'm going to stir this around. If it ever gets done, it'll be yummy. Okay. I'm going to put a tiny bit more of this everything bagel seasoning. Well, I think it gives it such a good flavor. And I think I will open up these beans, these green beans. Holly said that makes it too much like vegetable soup, but I like vegetable soup. The difference mainly in the soup and the stew is thicker and doesn't have as many vegetables as the soup. I'll put this lid back on there. Okay, and it's 3 o'clock, and it's, let me see, I don't think there was anything. I put the sugar in, and I put the garlic in, and I think that's all that I'm going to put in for vegetables. The green beans would be good, but I'll hold off on them. And I told you I use this Frisbee for everything. And cutting corn off the cob is one of them. One of the things I do with it. Okay. Anyway, it's 3 o'clock, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. That's 2 more hours that can cook. And I don't think I got the potatoes cut up small enough. They're not, don't even seem to be close to getting done. Let's see what this carrot tastes like, seems like. Let me see what he seems like. He's not done either. A little crunchy. So I hope in 2 hours that'll be done. I don't know what time Ronnie gets off today. It's been terribly hot. Him and Jaden both are working out in this heat, and it's really hard on them. So I'll cook this 2 more hours and hope that it gets done. And if not, we'll be eating it tomorrow. But I will get back with you, so see you soon. Okay, it's just not quite what I would call done. The meat needs to cook a little longer. The I'm going to taste the carrot again. This has the best flavor. Oh my. I'm going to taste this potato and see if it's done. It is. It is done. The meat is just not quite there. This flavor is absolutely delicious. Actually, the meat is fairly tender. It's so good. I'm going to see if I can read this. Sesame seed, poppy seeds, salt, garlic, and onion. That's what's in this everything bagel. And that made that so good. I could have put more barley in there and made it a little thicker, but it's good. This has the best flavor. Oh my. So good. I just got me out a little bowl so I could taste it. This is just absolutely delicious. And I don't know what to have with it. I can't make cornbread. It has the best flavor. So good. You don't have to do anything that I did. You can add your own vegetables that you want. Put in which ones you like the best. Leave out the ones you don't like. I'm telling you, that's delicious. But if you make yours like this, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna call and find out if Ronnie's headed home yet or not from work, and see if Krista wants to come by and pick this up. And I think they'll be able to eat it for supper. She could even, if they have enough left, they could have it tomorrow warmed over and cook cook it a little more on the stove, but that meat's pretty tender. I was able to chew it, and it was good. Very good. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. And thank you for putting up with all that I've had to go through, and all the trouble I've had and still have. And hopefully they get my oven fixed soon. Of course, like I said, it's really hot. I really don't want to be heating up the kitchen. This house heats up really hot with this oven. Just even the burners on the top of the stove, the burners, they just make it so hot in here. But anyway, I do appreciate you all watching my channel, and I'll see you soon. Try this stew, it's very good.